Hi, welcome. My name is Tyler. If you have never been here before, I talk about books. I talk about books on this channel. That is what I do. I talk about reading books. I talk about the books that I've read. I try to convince you to read some books. But mostly I just want to curate a cozy, spooky vibe. I am going to close my door. I just realized I opened it and my neighbors might be outside. So I'm going to close that. But yeah, welcome. Welcome to the start of 2025. Crazy. That is wild that it is 2025 already. That's insane. But last year I read 48 books, and that is the most books I've ever read in one go, which I'm very, very proud of myself for. But this year I am not allowed to buy any books. There are a couple of stipulations to that I think are fair. So the reason I don't want to buy books is because I have to read the ones that I already own, right? So I have a little bit of money left on a gift card to a bookstore. I'm allowed to spend that, obviously. If I find a copy, because I like used bookstores, so if I find a cheap copy of a book that I've already read that I want to add to my collection, that is different because that is not adding physically to my TBR. That is just giving me a little trophy. If there is a book signing from an author that I already support and that I like, I want to support that author and go to that book signing. I don't own any, like, as you can see, none of my, like, series match, so I don't own, like, any, like, special editions of book series, but, like, if I were to find a special edition of a book series that I like, I would consider buying it. But, like, again, that's not adding to my physical TBR, right? I don't have a book spending problem because I get a lot of my books thrifted. I get a lot of my books from little free libraries. I just like hoarding the books. And obviously if I'm gifted a book, I'm not gonna say no to a book. But with that being said, set in the world of 2025, I want to kind of post on here the 25 books that I would love to read in 2025. I have stacks right here. It's not in any kind of order. It's just in the order that I pulled it off my TBR shelf. Some of these I'm not going to really go into detail about what the book's about because, I don't know yet. I haven't read the book, you know? I am making this video to react at the end of the year or the beginning of next year. So, hey, a year from now, Tyler. What's up? And I'm gonna add the stipulation with some of these that if some of these I just want to read because I want to read them. Others, if I don't read them by the end of the year, I have to get rid of them. They've been on my shelf too long. So yeah, without further ado, let's do the 25 books that I want to read in 2025. Again, no order. These are just the order that I pulled them off on my shelf. First one that I want to read is Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. The main reason that I want to read this, one, I've heard nothing but great things, and I feel like this is a great place to start with this author, but also, it took place in 2024, like, time skips to 2024, 2023, or something like that, but it was written in 1993, which was when I was born, so, I don't know, those numbers make sense to me. It's like, oh, this was written when I was born and takes place now. I feel a connection to it. So I do want to read this one. This is not one of the ones that I have to get rid of if I don't read it. This has not been on my TBR that long. Next book that I really want to read is I want to read Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. Again, I've heard nothing but great things about this. Some mixed things, but for the most part, the people that I read the most closely to have enjoyed this. So, I think this would be good. I'm doing Books and Lala's, like, buzzword reading challenge, and I know one of the things is floral, so I'm hoping to maybe get that with floral. That would be cool if I don't read it sooner. All right, next up is Monstrillo by Gerardo Samano Cordova. I am so sad. I bought this the other day. When I could still buy books, I bought this the other day, put it in my bag. It's fine. I don't mind it. I like a little, as long as it's readable, it's fine. It's fine. It's really not that big of a deal, but I'm just irritated. I rarely buy, like, brand new from the bookstore books. But I want to read this so bad. This has been on my TBR for so long. Not my physical TBR, but my actual TBR for so long. I want to read it. Oh, I've heard it's so weird. I've heard it's so weird, and I'm so excited for it. I don't know how I feel about my edition of this, but I want to read Frankenstein. I don't know. I got this in a little free library, and I really want to read it. I want to read it. I want to read the original Dracula, but I don't own the original Dracula, so that's not part of this video. But I do, is this the 4th book? Number 4 is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Number 5 is Looking Glass Sound by Katrina Ward. Listen, I meant Catriona. And you know I meant Catriona. You know that I meant Catriona, right? Anyways, it's Catriona Ward. This one might be, this is a tentative. If I didn't read this, I might have to get rid of it. Because I've had it for a long time and I really wanted to read it. And then I listened to like the first bit on audio, and then my book returned on Libby, and it didn't get me. It didn't grab me as much as the initial pull to read the book got me. So I'm gonna give it another go, and this might be a donate, and it's a really good edition. It's really well. It's like this will make somebody happy. I know this will make somebody happy if it doesn't make me happy. That one might be I get rid of. Top or bottom? Top or bottom? Quickly. Top. Good choice. There's just 2 stacks. I didn't know which one to go for. I got this in one of like the Friends of the Library like where you can buy books. I've heard a lot of people talk about this, the If We Were Villains by Emma Rio. I've heard people talk about this specifically because recently Graveyard Shift came out and everyone was like, I was expecting to love this because I loved Graveyard Shift, but the Graveyard Shift wasn't as good, but this was great. So if this was great, it must mean I should read it, right? I'm gonna look you in the eyes right now. I'm gonna be so open and honest and vulnerable with you. I don't have the slightest idea what this is about. I think it's dark academia, maybe. But I like the cover. I've heard again so many things, like so many good things about it, that I want to read it. And another reason is that it's kind of a bigger it's kind of a bigger copy, and it keeps falling, and I just wanted to get it off my TBR area and into my red shelf. That's another reason that I want to read it so bad, but I know nothing about it. I know not a single thing about it. Number 7 is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. This was given to me for my birthday back in 2023, and I have been wanting to read it so badly, but I did a lot of like reading challenges last year and like reading bingos, and I couldn't find a way to fit this into the prompt that there was always a shorter book that fit the prompt. And so when I was trying to read a lot of books, this one kind of was a little intimidating. Which is funny when you look later in my list. That's a little funny that I'm thinking this one's intimidating. But because I'm making this video and because this is giving me a challenge, it will give me an excuse to read this. So I really want to read this. I've been anticipating reading this book for so long, and I do want to read it very badly. Have a separation with these. There's a process. There's a whole, oh no, little coffee drop got on his forehead. Look at that. Free him. Please. Please. Okay. Isn't he the cutest thing you've ever seen in your life? What handsome boy. Oh yeah, I didn't realize that was like motion activated until late at night, and it was kind of scary. I saw this book on so many people's favorites list. I've seen pictures of this all over like aesthetic Instagram and Book Talk and BookTube. I saw like 4 people reading it on the train when I went up to Washington. So I know that it's beloved. No idea what it's about, but it's so pretty. I don't know how I managed to not say the title, but this is Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. It's like the one job I had in this video and I forgot to say it. It's so pretty, and it feels beloved, and it feels like I'm missing out on something. So I'd love to read this. I would love to read this. 9 and 10 are specifically books that have been recommended to me that I need to give back to their owner. They were lent to me. And that is The Mother-in-Law by Sally Hepworth, and then The Marigold by Andrew F. Sullivan. My friend that lent these to me really liked them and thinks that I will like them. I think what I know about these is I think this one's spore-y, and then this one is like thriller, like domestic thriller, like mother-in-law crazy, family crazy. And I am so excited to read both of these, but I am like so also equally as excited to give them back to their owner. I have to read these. I have to. This isn't even a joke. Like, I cannot not read these. So 2026 Tyler, if you didn't read these, you were a bad friend. Give these back to Matt. Give them back to Matt. Number 11, I think. I just finished the second one of this yesterday, and it's Unsold, in the Unwind series by Neil Shusterman, and I will say that there's like a little like asterisk. There are other books in this series, and I would love to read those this year too. I'm not going to buy them, but I do have holds for them at the library. And so I would love once I have read those to buy the physical copies to complete it up. To complete it up there. I have the first two. But this series is a priority for me to finish this year, but I only physically own the next one. So I got that for Christmas from Matt, whose books I need to read. Kind of a wild card, considering if you've kind of gotten a gist of the genres that I typically read. I don't read a lot of fantasy. I own quite a few fantasy books that I kind of want to like, I want to use a tipping point of things that I'm already interested in to tip into fantasy. I used to work at a little store that like sold like Dungeons and Dragon things, and like very fantasy themed store. And we sold the Dragonlance series by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman. Which is like a story that takes place in the Dungeons and Dragons like multiverse. I got decently into it on one of my shifts and then stopped working at that store, and so I kind of just like forgot to finish reading this. But I do remember liking it, and I know that this is a series that a lot of D&D players really like. So why not? I also, this is not one of the books. If I don't read this, that is fine. I have like a story associated with this book now, and this does not have to go. But I'm not allowed to buy the other ones until I read it. You know, I don't have to get rid of the first one, but I can't buy the rest of the series until I have read the first one at least. The next one that I want to read is I want to read The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. So cute. So cute. I listened to the beginning of this on an audiobook, and then again I returned to Libby. I was so busy when I checked this out. I had no time to do anything. But I listened to a good portion of it, and I thought it was really cute. And so I would love to actually finish this one. I'm gonna give myself another year with it if I don't finish it though, because I'm really excited to read that one. I just didn't have the time to. The next one is something that I feel like if I don't read, my friend Remus is going to kill me. And it's The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I've heard great things. I know this is a very beloved book series, and I have a lot of interest in reading it. So I must read it, and then if I like it a lot, maybe next year I finish the series, or if I can get these on my library. But I'm really trying not to commit to big series right now, which I know, again, look me in the eyes, I get it, it's gonna sound contradictory to the bottom of my pile, but I promise it's not. This next one is a little controversial. I was gonna film this video today, and as I was getting ready, I watched an Instagram reel about somebody hating this. Makes me nervous. This author is very divisive just in general, but like a lot of people didn't like this one, but I got it in that little library section, or I got it in like the Friends of the Library section, and it's The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I'm gonna be honest, never read a Riley Sager. I just thought that the cover was really pretty, and I figured since it was $1, I was like, well, I'll give it a go, and if I hate it, I hate it. You know, if I hate it, I hate it, and that's fine, and I can put it in the hands of somebody who's not gonna hate it. But oh, oops, for $1, I'm gonna give it a go. You know? Oh, I'm so sorry. I moved the frame. I hope that doesn't piss people off. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I wanted my little guy back in shot. This next one, I'm so excited. I read 3 books from this author last year, and I can't wait to read the next one. You joking? Are you joking? This is a horror movie by Paul Tremblay. Hi! It's about a cursed movie. It's written by an author whose writing I love. What's not to love? What's not to love? And I got it at Half Price Books. And it's read. And it's going to be read by me. Thank you very much. that was dumb. That was bad. This next one, I bought specifically to read on the train to Washington, and then I didn't read it on the train to Washington. But I bought Brother by Anaya Albarn, and the thing with this is I read Seed by her a couple years ago, and I loved it so much, and I still think about a bunch of scenes from that book constantly, so I know that I'm going to love this. I just haven't read it yet, you know? So I really want to try to find a way to fit this into the Buzzword Challenge that Books and Lala does that I brought up earlier, because then I'll have that for me to read, and then I'll have this video for me to read, so then there'll be no excuse for me not to read it this year. That's my logic, at least. Listen! Again, I have to give this book back to a friend. I have to give this book back to Sammy. I've had this for too long. I've had this for far too long, and I have gotten, the thing is I've read some of it. I have read some of it. I've listened to the audiobook of it. I like it. It's one of those things that I put it down and then it's not the book's fault. It's my brain's fault. It is ADHD's fault. I will finish this year. Okay, so 19 and 20 feel connected enough that I can just share them together. I want to read these two. The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, and then White Fragility, Why It's So Hard for White People to Talk About Racism by Robin DiAngelo. I would love to read these two in the coming year. I need to read, last year, I read a lot of memoirs, like nonfiction, but I do want to start reading more nonfiction in categories that I feel like I need, just categories that I need to be more mindful of. And if I feel like, oh, I already know, like, oh, I already know, like, I've already done the work, there's chances are I still need to do more work, and that's where these come in. So I'm gonna read these two. This next one, this felt like, sorry, there's like price tag stickers on this, and I'm just trying to peel them off. Oh, no, that's great. That's what I wanted. Yeah, no. Oops. I'm gonna literally scream. Okay, that worked. Oh, there's just a little bit left. Oh, please. Please. Okay. No, I'm sticky. I remember even before I started, like, acknowledging book talk as a thing, I had seen people talk about this book, and I'm afraid to read it because it's so beloved and so many people ride or die for this book. I am afraid to not like it. But I picked up Aristotle and Dante Discovered the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Ellery Sands. And I, again, know that it's queer, I know that it's cute, and I know that it's soul-crushing. And I'm nervous. I am also not gonna get rid of this one. I've only had it on my TBR for maybe a month, so. But I do want to read it. Alright, so I have 4 more to go. This one, do you blame me? I read it as a kid and I didn't retain any of it, and it didn't mean enough to me. I want to read Wicked by Gregory Maguire. I want... Oh, the sticker left a weird thing on it. I want to read. I want to read it. I want to read it. I want to read it. There's no reason. No reason. But I do. I want to read this. Last 3 are going to contradict a lot of things that I've said in this video. And hey, I am a person who contains multitudes. I can have contradictory opinions. This was given to me. This was gifted to me. And it's massive, and I just kind of want to have it off of my red shelf, my TBR shelf, my TBR piles. And that is Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. Oh. Bye, Colby. I need this to be in my brain. I've heard that, like, it's big, but, like, there's not a lot of font, like, text on the pages, and the font's pretty big. So, it's a lot of pages, but, like, it's easier to read than it looks. But I need this on my shelf. I need it off one shelf onto another, so... I'm scared of this one. I'm not gonna lie, this one's intimidating me a lot. The next 2 kind of go hand in hand. So I will have 24 and 25 kind of go in tandem with each other. So like I said, I want to get more into fantasy. Both of these I have started, by the way. Just want to make that clear. Both of these I have started. And I want to get more into fantasy, but I want it to be in worlds that I already know, so it's a little bit more palatable. So I would love to read at least the first Game of Thrones book, and then Fire and Blood, the prequel book. They're hefty. This was a puzzle in the escape room, so that's what that is. These are hefty boys. These are big undertakings, and then this with Priory is crazy, while also reading 25 other books on top of what I showed. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. I think I can do it. I think I can do it. I hope I can do it. I'm a powerful human being. Hopefully, in 12 months, you'll see me reacting to this in a positive way and being like, oh, I read that. Oh my god, I read that. Oh my god, I read that. Oh my god, I only have 1 earring in. How long has that been the case? Well, okay, also, hopefully in 2026, I have both earrings in my ear. That'd be crazy. That'd be a good thing. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this. Thank you guys so much for staying until the end. I very much appreciate all of you that watch, all of you that are here, and I hope that some of you that are watching this now are also going to be watching me react to it at the end of the year. That'd be fun, right? See it through to the end. Maybe see it through. And especially if any of these are on your TBR as well, and maybe we'll end up, like, reading them at the same time and talking about it, then I love you the most. Bye. And
I got the potty.
okay. Jesus.